All set and ready to go. Strong and flexible friends, thanks for tuning in. Hope you're all well. Grab a space at home that you feel comfortable in, or a space in the gym, and we'll get started and we'll move into this lovely flexibility class that's going to target the whole entire body. To get going initially, we're going to start in a nice cross-legged position. We're just going to warm up the neck, so we're just going to look up, look down, look up, look down. And during this class you will find that sensations come into the body, stretch sensations in particular. Stretch sensations are good, we want to work into them. Pain and dysfunction is negative, it's bad, so if you're feeling pain and something doesn't feel quite right, just back out of the position, try something a bit different, and just wait until the body is prepared. But if you feel a good stretch sensation, move into it with ease, breathe, use your breath to settle the nervous system, and don't be afraid to explore. So now, plant the hand, right hand goes out, left ear to left shoulder, and we're going to try and open up the side of the neck here, this sternocleidomastoid, fancy term for a muscle here that can sometimes get overworked because of our techniques. We're all staring at phones these days. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the weight of our head to go down to this shoulder. We're going to drop these shoulders, and we're going to feel the sensation here and just try to relax and breathe into it. And during my classes, I like to utilize the breath, and we're going to breathe now in unison together. So breathe all the air out of your belly. 5 breaths on me. 5 in, and 5 out. 4 in, and 4 out. 3 in, and 3 out. 2 in, and 2 out. Well done, keep it going. One last breath in, and out. Settle into this. Use your hand to slowly exit the position. Whenever we stretch for long periods of time, it can be a little bit tough coming out of position, so ease out of everything. We're going to go to the other side now. Left hand goes out, right ear to right shoulder. Try to keep the shoulders down, relaxed, so we're not using our traps and shrugging. It's tough for men to keep them shoulders relaxed. We like to hold a lot of tension in there and stress. And then during the class, if you find that you lose me with the breath work, that's okay, just join back in when you can, but just try to slow that breath down, inhaling through the nostrils and exhaling through the nostrils. Let's go, breathe all the air out of your belly. 5 breaths on me, let's go. 5 in, and 5 out. 4 in, and 4 out. 3 in, and 3 out. 2 in, and 2 out. 1 in, and 1 out. Right hand slowly comes up, easing out, no stress, just effort. Now we're going to move on to the hips. We're going to enter a famous 90-90 position. So you're in a cross-legged position like so. Your right knee comes out. You get a nice angle of 90 degrees between your knee and the foot. And we're just sitting here for a wee second, just feeling into this position. If you get really a lot of pinching and tightness in this back leg at this angle of the knee, just move it closer to the front foot. If you're looking for a little bit more and you feel strong in this position, you've got super flexible hips, move it back. This feels good. I'm just back from a nice hike up the forest, so my lower body needs this. So hopefully wherever you are today and whatever crazy activities you get up to, you're going to be feeling good after this. So we're going to explore a hip hinge now into this front hip. So we can use our hands on the foot and the knee, and we're just hinging forward to see how this right hip feels over it. You should be feeling a lot of sensation into this right side. a few reps. If you feel confident and really flexible, you can go a little bit further forward. Remember, this is a beginner friendly class, so we're just doing what we can today. It's important not to grip too hard on the upper body too. No need to grip the hands or the forearms. Just keep it nice and soft as we move forward. We've moved forward a few times now, directly in front of the tibia, which is a fancy term for the shin. We'll now move towards the foot. See how far down we can get. We're not trying to round the spine and force our forehead off our foot. We're just trying to explore and see if we can increase the sensation of this hip, because we're looking to create nice positive change in the body. Not stress it out or anything. Life's stressful enough as it is. These types of practices are more restorative in nature. Now we're moving towards the knee a couple of times. Beautiful. We'll go back to the shin angle in front of the tibia, just hinging forward. Try to keep your glutes on the ground as well throughout this whole range of motion. And if glutes is a fancy term for your butt, your ass. Very nice. Now we're going to explore a passive stretch. So you drop your elbows in a range that feels comfortable. And we're here in the stretch. During these flexibility classes, I like to employ contract relax techniques to really fire up our nervous system. And the more of these classes you do, the more you'll get comfortable with this. I'm going to get you to try this today. Keep an open mind and just see how the body responds. So what we're going to do is we're going to think about pressing our right knee into the mat for 5 seconds. So it's almost like you're trying to kick away the mat. You're trying to push this knee here to close the space, but it's not going to go anywhere because obviously the mat and the ground are there. But that's going to fire up this hip capsule a little bit more. Then when the 5 seconds ends, we let go of the contraction and we try to relax deeper into that stretch sensation. Sound good? Let's give it a go. So you're in that nice passive stretch that you found was semi-relaxing. And now we're going to push that right knee into the ground. Let's go. Drive it down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let go of that contraction and see if you can sink a little bit deeper, even if it's only half an inch. Let go of the stress in the lower body. Hang out for another few seconds here. Beautiful work. Plant the hands and we press back up. What we're going to do then is switch the left foot in front now into the opposing side, because we have 2 sets of glutes, so we need to work into both. So initially sitting upright, nice and long, exploring this position. You might find that you fall over a little bit if you're struggling with the upright position and the hip range of motion. That's okay, just do what you can. You might find that you're slumped a wee bit like this. I was at the start. I was like, oh, trying to fight and hold this position. Use the hands just to keep you balanced and just do what you can always. Now we're going to explore the sensations of this outer hip by planting the hands on the foot and the knee and just hinging forward. Seeing how things feel. Nice and easy. When beginners first start these types of classes, I see that they tend to tighten up and stress and fight every position, but there's no need. Try to soften as much as you can. Let go of that stress. Little bit of effort, no stress. And it does take practice. So don't worry if you are that person today. In weeks and months and a few years' time, you will be gliding, the hips will be buttery, and there will be no stress whatsoever. Just strong, flexible joints. Probably hoping that it happens quicker than a few years, a couple of weeks. Stick with me for a couple of weeks and you'll be all right. So now we're going to explore moving our sternum towards that left knee, keeping a nice upright spine. Just feel it out. Now we're moving it towards the foot. Head button plants that might be in the way, or maybe we're in the way, who knows. Down and up. Keeping it playful now, we're going for the knee in front of the shin towards that foot, just seeing if there's any differences and if we can maintain a nice long spine, because there will be temptation there to round and headbutt the shin or the foot. Now that we've explored that hip, we're going to take a nice passive stretch Your forearms may not reach the ground. Mine did in that first one, but so now I'm just going to show you how you can plant the hands to keep them nice and stable, and that helps us to focus, sinking our weight and our energy into this outer hip. Sit, relax, meet your body wherever it is. Soften the breath, nice slow inhalations, exhalations. Very nice. And now we're going to have a bit of fun again. We're going to employ that contract, relax technique. So remember, we're going to think about pushing that knee into the mat. Let's go. Drive it down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we soften the hip, let go of the contraction. It'll feel a little bit crampy, but that's okay. And then we attempt to sink a little bit deeper. Feeling all that sensation in the hip. Remember, sensation is good. In particular, stretch sensation and pain and niggles is bad. We don't want to move into anything like that. We want to soften and create positive change. A few seconds here in our new range of motion that we've created. Then we plant the hands and we use the strength of our upper body to push ourselves back up. Very nice. That's quite an intense practice. So what we're going to do now is to just unlock the hips. We bring our hands behind our body and we're just moving our knees left, then right. Make sure you've got significant space so that your knees can drop in front and that your wee toes do not get in the way. Nice and slow like this, little hip shifts. Nice and easy. Great work. Now we're going to spice things up a wee bit. So, left knee is on the ground, right knee is wherever it is. It might not touch the mat, it might be hovering slightly, that's okay. We're going to keep the left knee where it is, keep it active, so you're using your hips to pull this knee down to the outside of the ground. And then the right knee moves, bump, 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 bump. It hits external rotation as far as it will go. It stops, there's a bit of a biting point, an end range point we call it here. And then we start to move that left knee inward while the right knee stays where it is, right knee stays where it is. And then the left knee comes the whole way in. We attempt to press it down into the mat. And then we begin to move it again. Right knee staying where it is now. It's all left knee here, end range. Keep the left knee where it is. And now the right moves into that internal rotation. Be as active as you can, using your hips and very little momentum. Slowing things right down. And now just moving at your own pace. Think about keeping things nice and stable and just flowing. Flowing left, flowing right. Beautiful stuff. Great work. Keep it going. Giving the hips some attention, some TLC that they need. Enter a nice cross-legged position. And now we're going to get into the shoulders. Hopefully the hips are feeling a little bit better than they were before you first showed up. We're going to bring our arms up to a 90-degree angle, like you're holding a little bowl of soup. Think about the crease of the elbow. We're going to try to move the crease of the elbow behind the body, and then we're turning it inward. So the crease of the elbow is facing down towards the mat. Some people like to do this with their wrist and think that their shoulder's moving. We want the motion to come from here and here. And we just gently move in and out. Getting a little bit of rotation into the shoulder. You might not get that far. Like I said, just do what you can. Listen to the body. A couple more just like that. Look forward. And if you feel comfortable, you can move the head slightly away from this arm. Moving the ear towards the shoulder. Very nice. This does put a little bit more tension on the nerves coming from the brachialis plexus of the neck, but that's okay. This can be good for preventing carpal tunnel and nerve entrapments that come with compression of the upper body. And then the head moves back to a neutral position, arms drop. Sometimes our joints are heavier than you think. So, same again, other side. Remember, crease of elbow, bowl of soup. Keep it nice and balanced. And now we move. Sometimes it's nice to make a closed fist because then you're just focused on this part of the elbow as it internally rotates, fancy terminology that you're going to get accustomed to while watching these classes. Internal, external. And once we feel comfortable, we can then think about moving the ear to the shoulder ever so slightly, not all the way, just to increase a little bit of tension on the nerve. Help free it up. And keep it going. A few more just like this. You've got this. Heavy arms, but that's okay. You'll be okay. Just let the sensation burn. Breathe through it. Soften the breath through the nose, out through the nose. And down. Woohoo! Awesome work. Well done. Now we're going to move into the spine. Give it some attention. One of my favorite exercises of all time. Plant the hands. If you struggle with getting the heels onto the glutes, that's okay. You'll have a bit of quad tightness. Come a little bit more forward into a quadruped position. So you're like this. Now what we're going to do is rotate a few times, trying to open up the spine by bringing the elbow up to the sky and then eventually trying to move it behind the body. Nice and gentle. Remember, effort, not stress. Swap the hands. Right hand is to the ear now and we're moving up. You might only get here when your lower back shouts at you if you're someone who suffers with lower back pain, or you might reach to the sky. Do what you can today. Great work. One more just like that. And down. Plant the hands. We've spent a little bit of time on the hands today, so we're going to give them some love as well. We're going to rotate the fingers towards the knees. Send the weight back the way, so we're going to stretch the forearms here. This can be quite intense, so really tune in with your body. Is it stretch sensation that I'm feeling, or is it going to turn into pain and discomfort? Am I going to cause myself an injury? It's just you on your mat today. Leave your ego at the door. We don't need to force anything. It doesn't have to look perfect. We need to focus on how it feels. And just stretch sensation is what we're looking for. No pain or anything like that. We're going to utilize our breath here. So breathe all the air out of your belly. 3 breaths on me. Let's go. 3 in. And 3 out. 2 in. And 2 out. 1 in. And 1 out. Very nice. To safely exit this position, shift your weight forward and then walk the hands around like a little clock. That can be quite intense. And just know during these classes, stretch sensation, when you first exit a deep stretch, it will feel tighter than it normally does, but after a minute or two, it starts to dissipate, starts to go away, and you feel even better. We're going to move into a bit of hip flexor work. So we call this a quadruped. It's a 4-point position. You put your left knee where your left hand is, and what we're going to do now is walk the hands a little bit forward, pop up on that right knee, and we're here. The knee comes to the outside and we attempt to dip down as far as we can. So the knee comes out, the arch of the foot comes off the ground, and we attempt to tap the right knee off the ground. This is quite an active position. This freed my hips up. I couldn't even do a deep squat before I started doing this hip flexor exercise. A few just like that. Then we bring our knee up, bring the knees together again, right foot to right hand, up onto the toes of the left, and then we attempt to tap the knee off the mat while moving our right knee away and the arch of the foot comes off the ground. If you can't get this low, just do what you can. Be nice and strong here. I know it's tough in the arms, tough in the hips. One more for good luck. Boom. And back to that nice quadruped. Fall onto the hip. And then feet together. We're now going to lie back and enter some external rotation, but active external rotation. So what we do is we use our glutes and our own musculature to get deeper into stretches. That's the difference in these classes between traditional Pilates and yoga, is with these flexibility exercises, we use our own strength to pull deeper into our range of motion, and you'll start to get what I mean in a minute. So this motion is external rotation of the hips. If you're someone who struggles to sit in like a butterfly and you're up like this and it feels super uncomfortable, we are going to eventually get our knees down to the ground by using the strength of our own glutes. What do you see? So instead of just trying to sit upright in an uncomfortable position, we lie in a supine position and we lift our glutes off the ground. You see this? Hands will go under the glutes, and then we attempt to pull the knees down to the mat, and we hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop it down. Do it one more time. Let's go. Lift up. Is there space under your glutes? Try to send the hips higher. Drive the knees down towards the mat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop it down. Roll onto your right side. Up onto the elbow. Cross-legged position. Nice. You have just successfully completed active range of motion. Well done, everyone. And that concludes our beginner friendly flexibility class. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're feeling stronger and more flexible. You did well for showing up today, keeping an open mind and willing to put yourself out there, trying new things. Get comfortable with the concepts that we use in these classes, because you're going to be hearing and seeing a lot more of it as we start to do more of these follow along videos. Any questions, concerns, leave them in the comments, like the video, and stay in touch. I'll see you again soon. Thank you so much. That was great. I feel amazing.